Hey, this is Darren with rebootcongress.blogspot.com, and I'm here today with Ed Martin. Ed, I understand you're starting a new tour, the Enough is Enough tour. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, what happened was, the new bill, the Pelosi healthcare nationalization bill came out last week, and of course I printed out a copy to start to go through it, which is I think the responsibility of every citizen and especially every Congress man or woman. And even in the few days since this bill came out, people have been expressing just the same sentiment that I felt, which is enough is enough. I mean, 1,990 pages, changes to the way of life, whether it's tax increases, cutting Medicare, changing funding for abortion, covering that, whatever it is. People have had enough, and so we've started this Enough is Enough tour. We started it Monday morning, and we're going out throughout the 3rd Congressional District for the rest of this week, talking to groups about this bill and what's in it and why enough is enough. So,
what are the major points that you're hitting in the Enough is Enough tour?
Well, the first thing is that people are fed up with what's going on in Congress. We heard over the summer people had lots of concerns about the first round of kind of healthcare reform, and then secret meetings, backroom deals, and here comes a 1,900 page bill, 1,990 pages. But I think there's a couple things. The public is concerned basically about what's the secret deals that Pelosi's made, kind of like the stimulus and other cash for clunkers and the bailouts that will not help us, but will help certain interest groups. Second, why are we completely gutting a healthcare system that has some problems, but it certainly isn't perfect, but it's pretty good. And especially people that have Medicare and private insurance, they don't want to lose that and have it gutted. So that's another thing. And then the specifics about the bill that are coming out now. There's tax increases in here. If you have a plan currently, there's funding for abortion. As the details come out, people are more and more concerned.
Can you just hold up the first stack there?
This is the first portion of the.
So that's the bill we've got. It's HR 3962.
3962, and this is just, let me check to make sure, this is just about, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of the bill. Let's see how many pages, about 500 pages here. So this is four things, and we're going to go out, and I expect by the end of this week we'll have lots of marks on the pages, and we'll have people asking questions. And since we announced the Enough is Enough tour, we've had a number of people call or email. We've had some physicians groups. I'm going to meet with some physicians tomorrow. We've had some citizens groups, some college students from the area that have gotten in touch that want to do an event. So we're just going to keep taking this out and letting people find out more about it. And again, it feels like enough is enough and what Pelosi's trying to do.
That's a large stack of paper you got right there. And I don't know if I know you have been active in the Tea Party movement in the past. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sunshine Tea Parties that some people are starting to organize.
Very familiar.
Do you see a sort of Sunshine Tea Party evolving around HR 3962? Do you see like groups of people maybe going through it in homes or breaking it up and going through it? What are your thoughts there?
Well, you brought up two different things there, Darren. I would say there are two questions that need to be answered. What exactly is in it? And I think that we could all split it up into different parts and go through it and try to analyze it. It's very complex. What they've done is try to hide a lot in there. That's one thing. I agree with you. Kind of a focused effort to go through it. I thought you were bringing up a second point, which is one I have a concern about. Who wrote this bill? There was a lot of questions during the Bush administration about how certain policies were developed and what interest groups were in the room. And I think that's a fair question. I always have thought it's a fair question. I mean, let's be transparent. If Planned Parenthood had a hand in this, let's go ahead and put it out there. If the insurance companies had a hand, fair enough. But right now what we don't know is this is not the handiwork of one person. 1,990 pages is a lot of people's efforts. And let's find out who was in the room when this was drafted and therefore who is benefiting. Because what I've heard more and more from the citizens of the 3rd Congressional District and across America is Congress is choosing winners and losers. And we end up not the winners. And I think what we want to find out is who's winning with this bill and who's not winning. And I think we'll find out that Pelosi and her cronies win and the rest of us are not in the winning column.
Do you have any early reports on who might be lined up to benefit from this bill?
No, at this point, I don't think we know. I mean, look, it's a nationalization of healthcare. So what they're trying to do is control our lives from Washington, D.C. with bureaucrats. So I think there's, but look, in the other bills we found out, in the stimulus, there was money for Acorn. In different places there have been different things. Let's find out exactly what's in here. I'm concerned about some of the special interests that would have access to it, whether it's Planned Parenthood for abortion or others. But let's find out. Again, I think there's two challenges. Who wrote the bill and who read the bill? At this point, every congressman and woman, if they're going to take over, more than 1/10 of the American economy with this effort, they ought to all have read the bill, not just talked about summaries, not just heard about what it means, but read the bill. So let's find out. Let's exactly find out who wrote it and who's read it, and I think from there we'll start to have a better sense.